Jakarta is the capital city of Indonesia and is a melting pot of a variety of different ethnicities from all over Indonesia. It's the hub where people from all over Indonesia come, and you can find a vast variety of different foods and traditions. When people think of Indonesia, they think of Bali. Jakarta becomes just a transit location and is overlooked in comparison to other big cities in Southeast Asia, such as Bangkok, Ho Chi Minh, or Kuala Lumpur. But there is a lot on offer in this sprawling capital city, and there is much more to Indonesia in general than just Bali. In this video, I will cover a selection of what's on offer here, as well as give some practical tips on how to get around.
Good afternoon everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be a little bit different than my usual vlog. So instead of a vlog, I will show you a guide of how to do my home city, which is Jakarta. It can be a little bit overwhelming as you first arrive in Jakarta due to the crowdedness and the vastness of the city, even for me too. So this video will cover some useful points for how to navigate your time here in Jakarta and what to do. Jakarta is divided into 5 different districts, first being the north, central, west, east, and the south. When choosing where to stay, it is important to consider your budget, but also accessibility. The traffic in Jakarta can be madness, and it takes a long period of time, long hours, just to go for short distance.
Central Jakarta is the best place to stay for accessibility due to transportation links and the close vicinity to the main bigger landmarks, but can be relatively expensive. Another good option for tourists is South Jakarta, as there are a lot of choices for bars and street food. South Jakarta also has slightly more greenery and some nicer residential areas. I recommend using websites such as Booking.com, Airbnb, or Hostel World. There are links in the description box if you would like to check them out. For hostels, you can find accommodation starting at around $6 per night, whereas hotels or Airbnbs start from $20 to $30 per night for a decent place in a good location. A common mistake people make is not realizing how long it takes to get places in Jakarta, and they opt for cheaper accommodation in Greater Jakarta area, thinking they can easily travel in. But it can take 2 to 3 hours to even travel short distances. So I would recommend to spend a little more on staying nearer the center, as you will probably save money and save lots of time in the long run from traveling in and out. When you first arrive in Jakarta, you need to get to the city from the airport. It can take 1 hour to 2 hours to get into Jakarta. There are several different options for getting to the city. The first option would be to take taxi or use online taxi apps such as Grab and Gojek. I would recommend installing these apps before you travel. You can also download offline Google Maps or Maps.me of the Jakarta area. If you want to call down a taxi without using an app, look for the blue taxis from the company called Bluebird. They are a respectable taxi company who will use meter prices. Another option is taking the airport train. If you want to get the train, it will take you to the Sudirman station, which is the closest stop to central Jakarta. To withdraw money, I would wait until you reach the city. Most ATMs have a withdrawal limit of 1.5 million to 2.5 million rupiah. A lot of places accept card in central Jakarta, but you will definitely need cash if you want to experience street food.
One of the very popular locals breakfast is called chicken porridge or bubur ayam. It is available widely throughout Jakarta on the streets. Just look out for the sign of bubur ayam. It's easy, it's delicious, and it's cheap. usually very savory. It's served like congee. This is Chinese influenced type of food we have in Indonesia. So they put a lot of chicken broth, served like curry sauce. That's why it's yellow. They put lots of peanuts, spring onions, everything there is. I just love this in the morning. If you are worried about getting ripped off by taxi drivers, don't worry so much, because there are two different alternatives of online taxi application. First being Gojek, second being Grab. These are a very convenient and very easy way to take you around from places to places in Jakarta. Right now, I am going to order the taxi to visit some sites in Jakarta. I do only have to wait in between 3 to 5 minutes maximum, depending on the driver's location. But most of the time, the application itself will snatch those drivers that is already close to you. Welcome to MRT of Jakarta. This is one of our, if not the newest mode of transportation that has just been recently opened in Jakarta. If you are based in central Jakarta and if you're thinking of transporting to south of Jakarta and want to avoid the traffic, this could be the best way to do it. So here's a system map that you can use as a sort of system of reference. You can see there are plenty of stops from central Jakarta all the way through South Jakarta. So we are now going to buy a ticket and I'll show you a little bit how to do it. Let's go. There are two ways of buying the ticket. First being by the machine, the second being through ticket office. If you are not familiar with the language, actually I would recommend you to buy through the machine because it provides English language as one of the options. We've got our ticket. Let's go. As well as paying for the stops that you are going to, you're also paying for a refundable ticket of 15,000 rupiah. It is refundable. If you finish and reach your destination, then refund this to the ticket office.
The free hop on and off city tour bus is a good way to get a glimpse of the various sites in Jakarta. If you want to use this bus, it operates every day until 5 p.m. If you wish to travel by local bus, I will leave some useful links in the description box. Since it can be more complicated, I would suggest making use of taxi apps, city tour bus, MRT, and train.
Like any other metropolitan city throughout the world, Jakarta also has plenty of sightseeing and landmarks such as national monument, museums, church, mosque, and also Old Town, where I am currently at. So this area is quite unique in comparison to the rest of Jakarta because you can still see colonial buildings remaining. out and about in such hot and humid Jakarta. We're getting pretty hungry, so we are excited to head out to find some more street food. Is a massive part of Indonesian experience, and there are lots to try in Jakarta. Many people may have known about nasi goreng or fried rice, but there's so much more than just that. There's so much more to Indonesian cuisine. If there's one thing that I would like to recommend you to try is satay. We have different types of satay, from ayam, which means chicken, kambing, which means lamb, and also lidah, which means tongue. The most common one that is easily found in Jakarta is called sate ayam or chicken skewers. If you want something that is a bit more soupy, we have different types of soups, from chicken soup, lamb soup, oxtail soup, and the one that I'm going to have is called sop iga, or rib soup. I don't know how does it taste like, but let's just wait.
Kronologinya apa? Melarikan diri dari kejaran.
Martabak is a stuffed pancake which is a popular street food in Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. There are two varieties of martabak that can be found easily throughout Jakarta, such as savory and sweet. While it is baked on a pan, the sweet martabak is spread with butter, sugar, crushed peanuts, chocolate sprinkles, cheese, and other toppings. Mie ayam or chicken noodles is a common Indonesian dish of seasoned yellow noodles topped with diced chicken meat. It is especially common in Indonesia, Singapore, and Malaysia, and can trace its origin to Chinese cuisine. In Indonesia, chicken noodles are often seasoned with soy sauce and chicken oil that is made from chicken fat and mixture of spices.
There is such great variety of street food in Jakarta, but I can't cover it all in one single video. I still hope that this will give you a glimpse of what you can eat while you're here. This is the end of today's episode. I hope that you enjoy a slightly different type of this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Let me know what you think. I would like to read your comment. See you again next time. Bye!
This is the reality of filming days in hot weather.
It's 34 fucking degrees!
We're both dying in this heat.
Oh, and humidity. I hate humidity.
It's like the videos come across all like positive, like we're having a great time, but
Off the camera!
she's just crying the whole time off the camera.
I'm so fatigued.
But now we're gonna get coffee, so it's all okay. We'll make everything better.
I forgot. Out to find some more street food. Yay!
Do one more.
To find some street food.